You aren't crazy. McDonald's French fries do not taste as good as they used to, and it's not nostalgia playing tricks on your brain. Back in 1990, the biggest fast food empire on earth quietly drained the secret ingredient that made their fries legendary. They thought they were saving your life. Instead, they accidentally triggered a multi-billion-dollar health disaster, kicked off a war in the food industry, and permanently re-engineered the way America eats. Welcome to Oil on Tap, where the truth about fats flows. To understand why that single day in 1990 changed history, we have to go back to the golden age of fast food. When Ray Kroc teamed up with the McDonald brothers in the 1950s, cooking with animal fats wasn't just normal, it was the secret to cooking. People used butter, lard, and beef tallow for everything because it was dirt cheap, locked in moisture, and tasted mind-blowing. When McDonald's perfected their fry recipe, they didn't just stumble into it in a kitchen. They engineered a masterpiece known simply as Formula 47. The recipe? Exactly 93% pure beef tallow and 7% cottonseed oil. When that beef fat hit the boiling vats alongside the potato starch, it created a rich, mouth-watering chemical reaction that modern vegetable oil can't touch with a 10-foot pole. For over 30 years, Formula 47 made those fries crisp on the outside, fluffy on the inside, and completely unforgettable. But outside the Golden Arches, a storm was brewing. During the mid-20th century, America was terrified by a sudden spike in heart attacks among young men. Enter physiologist Ancel Keys and his famous diet heart hypothesis. Keys planted a massive idea into the medical mainstream. He claimed that saturated fat and cholesterol were ticking time bombs clogging your arteries. It didn't matter that the science was fiercely debated. The message delivered to the public was simple, terrifying, and absolute. Stop eating animal fat if you want to live. Enter a very angry millionaire named Phil Sokoloff. After suffering a severe heart attack in 1966, he dedicated his personal fortune and the rest of his life to a brutal revenge tour against fast food. Sokoloff founded the National Heart Savers Association and bought full-page ads in major national newspapers with terrifying headlines calling out corporate giants. He specifically targeted McDonald's, blasting them for frying their food in beef tallow. Sokoloff picketed shareholder meetings, handed out millions of warning pamphlets, and mobilized public outrage. McDonald's executives watched their family-friendly brand take a brutal beating in the press. The bad publicity became an existential threat. So, in July 1990, they completely caved. They dumped the beef tallow down the drain and switched 100% to vegetable oil. Formula 47 was dead. What looked like a simple corporate menu change was actually the climax of a massive agricultural takeover. After World War II, American farms began producing endless mountains of corn and soybeans. Factories needed to monetize those crops, so they figured out how to turn them into cheap, clear, liquid vegetable oils by the ton. Historical data published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition reveals a staggering truth. A century ago, almost no one in America consumed commercial seed oils. By the close of the 20th century, those exact oils accounted for roughly 85% of all added fats in the American diet. Per capita consumption of soybean oil alone skyrocketed by over 1,000-fold. But food companies hit a brick wall when they tried to swap animal fats for plant oils. Liquid plant oils spoil in days, turn rancid when exposed to air, and are way too runny for commercial deep fryers. The food industry's solution? A chemistry trick called partial hydrogenation. By blasting liquid vegetable oil with hydrogen gas under high heat and pressure, factories turned runny plant oil into a solid fat. It was a miracle for food corporations. It gave packaged foods an infinite shelf life, gave pastries a flaky crunch, and gave fast food fryers high heat stability. There was just one catastrophic catch. It created industrial trans fats. For years, the public was told these vegetable shortenings were a health triumph because they had zero cholesterol. But by the late 1990s, Landmark medical studies published in the New England Journal of Medicine proved the horrifying reality. Industrial trans fats were vastly more toxic to the human heart than the natural saturated fats they replaced. They didn't just raise bad LDL cholesterol, they actively crashed good HDL cholesterol. When McDonald's abandoned beef tallow in 1990, many fast food chains rushed to use partially hydrogenated vegetable oils to keep their fryers running smoothly. In their desperate flight away from saturated fat, the American food industry had accidentally flooded the national diet with one of the most hazardous ingredients ever engineered. When the medical data finally leaked out, the backlash was merciless. By the mid-2000s, governments began completely banning artificial trans fats, forcing the FDA to strip them of their safe status. McDonald's had to scramble yet again, abandoning hydrogenated oils for cleaner burning plant oils that could handle high heat without killing their customers. Today, the debate rages on. Modern science shows that the narrative isn't a simple Hollywood movie where animal fats are pure heroes and seed oils are pure villains. But every time you bite into a fast food French fry today, you are tasting the physical aftermath of a 50-year war between agricultural lobbies, shifting medical narrative, and industrial chemistry. When McDonald's drained that beef tallow out of their vats in 1990, it wasn't just a recipe tweak. It was a monumental, historical turning point that permanently transformed the American plate. And the next time you wonder why your fries don't taste quite as magical as they used to, remember the multi-billion-dollar chemical war that stole the flavor.